Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Mohamed Asfa Irfan bin Razi. My metric number is 054752. Okay, today my group want to present about post meeting, which is what we have to do after the meeting ended. The action following after the meeting has ended are just important as the action before and during the minutes in helping the objective to be achieved. For this presentation, we have point out 4 content, which is for the first one is writing minutes, second tips, and the third one is do and don't, and for the last but not least is layout of minute and samples. Then we go to the first part of this presentation, which is stage in preparing the minutes. This stage in preparing the minute have 7 points that we have to do. Okay, for the first point is pre-typing, which is in this pre-typing, we have to review the notes or the outline, made and add additional comments or not given. Next, we have to check to ensure all the decision, action, and motion are clearly noted. And next is clarify what is not understood right after the meeting. And the last is write number the pages of the notes in order to avoid confusion afterward. Next, we move to the second point, which is typing out. On this point, the details that are necessary to be included in the minute is the name of the organization, committee or institution. Next is type of meeting, which is it is daily, weekly, monthly, annual or special meeting. And the third one is objective of the meeting, which is we must have an objective to handle a meeting. Next is the list of attendance, which is we must clearly state the chairman or chairperson and the secretary. Next is leave of absentees. We must have a list because we want to know who have attend or not. Next is list of agenda covered. On this point, we have to know what is the agenda covered on that meeting. Next, we have indicate the name who proposed and second the previous minute of meeting as a true record. Next, we must have a record of the important point discussed and decision taken for each item in the agenda. Next, state the name who are responsible for follow-up action. Next is we must to state the end of minute of the meeting. Next is we must to have the date, the secretary and the chairperson sign the minute and their position are recorded. And last is attachment, if applicable. Next, we go to the third point, which is clarifying. In this point, if the minute taker is unsure or if there is an error in the notes, make the correction quickly. The correction must to do by asking the chairperson or talk to the others member. Next, we move to the fourth point, which is editing and review. In this point, the minute need to be edited and reviewed by asking the chairperson or someone else who attend the meeting to review them for errors. It is because to make sure nothing is left out and to ensure brevity and clarity, and lastly is to ensure the minutes are easy to be read. Next is getting approval. On this point, after the review, the minute should be submitted to the chairperson or the person who run the meeting for approval, unless instructed otherwise. It is because to check for error and to ensure accuracy and perfection. Next is the sharing the minute. On this point, we must to send the final copy of the minute to member within 24 hours of the meeting. It is because to remind of the commitment made during this meeting and to inform the absentee of what happened and their commitment. And the last is to help the people who attend the meeting and absent the meeting to transfer the commitment to their calendars and to-do lists. All the final copy of the minute must share to the member by hard copy or soft copy or online sharing, which is Google Doc, Google Drive or Dropbox. And last but not least is filing. On this point, the minutes needs to be kept and stored for future reference. It must be kept by hard copy, which is minute book, file storage or online sharing, which is Google Docs, Google Drive or Dropbox, and external drive. And for the reminder, minutes are the property of the organization, not to the secretary. Hence, an official copy of the minute should be kept at the office. Alright, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Danish Umair bin Hamizat. My metric number is 056495. Okay, now we go to my part, which is post-meeting tips. Okay, there are 10 point that we must take care, which is we must take note. The point is, when was the meeting, who attend, who did not attend, what topic were discussed, what was decided, what action were agreed, who is to complete the action, who material disturbed at the meeting, if so, copies or a link available. And then, is there anything special the reader of the minute should know how to? And lastly is a follow-up meeting schedule. If so, when, where, why? Okay, there are of three types of things that we can do, like before, during the meeting, and after the meeting. Okay, before the meeting, we must need to prepare the different topics to be addressed during the meeting, and then noting what we know about them in order to save time and to be able to focus on important topics during the meeting. If not, you might end up on the margins of the meeting and being too busy taking notes. Okay, let's go to during the meeting. During the meeting minutes are an effective contributor to successful meetings. Yet, they need to be appropriately written and distributed in time. Okay, all of us must be angry, right? If our colleges didn't make work or not properly, right? Okay, and then the main problem is with report is that they take a long time to be written down properly, and that they must be sent quickly after the meeting to let everyone know their next projects or action. Okay, last but do not least, after the meeting, type out your notes in a logical manner and not chronologically. It needs to be organized to be sent out to your colleges. As I said before, all of our work must be made with manner and properly lah. Okay. Also, adding a short summary organized per person and per project at the end of the minutes help your colleges quickly glance at the minutes and spot the action they need to realize within seconds. Okay. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everyone. My name is Aiman Najmuddin bin Rogaizat. My metric number is 056783. So now we move on to the next part, which is do's and don'ts. Let me start with do's. The first one is we must review again everything that we has jotted down. Make sure it is in order and only include important things. Secondly, add additional notes if needed. It is important so that no decision or action will be missed. Next is to check all decision. Check all decision, action and also motion with someone else. Maybe the chairman or the person in charge for the certain task. After that, write the minutes of meeting as soon as possible. Keep it short and straight to the point. Last but not least, always use appropriate tense through the minutes and use plain English without the idiom and so on. Okay, we move on to the don'ts action. Firstly is include inflammatory or our personal suggestion inside the minutes. Personal suggestion, it should be done during the meeting. Next is write people name except when they suggest new motion. This also show that minutes of meeting only include important points. Next is, for sure, do not skip the minutes of meeting. It's needed to be saved and as reference in the future for the company. The fourth point is including quotation mark inside our meeting. It is not needed because we need to keep our minutes of meeting informality. Next is including the information that embrace someone, such as maybe the one of the participant come late to the meeting and the chairman need to delay the meeting. And then lastly, include rejected motion. Rejected motion is something that will not be used in the decision, so no need to be write inside our minutes of meeting. That's all for me. Thank you.
Good morning to Miss Nadia and fellow friends. Today I will talk about the layout of minutes. So there are three parts of minutes of meeting. Okay, first is preliminary, second is body, and the third is closing. Okay, the first one is preliminary. Okay, for this part we must include the name of the organizations or committee or institution. The second is type of meeting, which is daily, weekly, monthly, annual or special. The third is objective of the meeting. Time of the minutes, time of the meeting begin and end. List of the attendance. Minutes needs to be in the alphabetical order. Clearly state the chairman or chairperson and the secretary. The last is a list of absentees needs to be in alphabetical order. Okay, the second part is body. Agenda items cover a statement to prove the previous minutes of meeting and any matters rising from those minutes. Indication of the names who proposed and the second previous minutes of meeting as a true record. The fourth is state the names who are responsible for follow-up actions. The last is any other business that is noteworthy for future reference. The last part is closing. For minutes of meeting, we must include the state hour of judgment. The second, we must write prepared by the secretary name, approved by the chairman's name, are state at the end of the minutes. The date for secretary and the chairperson sign the minutes and their position are recorded. The last is attachments if applicable. That's all for me and my group video presentation. That's all. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.